bring up like everyone else did. Did he get shot in the penis? Is that what we're talking about? did we best get to
Right. So, for those of you who's just joined in or whatever, we're doing a murder mystery. Everybody should be in character, do some funny voices, yada yada yada. And
I cannot do that.
Yeah, do have fun with it. I suppose I better start off by introducing myself. My name's Elliot Mess, and I can see why you called me in. You have a right mess on your hands, and I'm not talking about the blood. I sure know why you wouldn't want it. What? And I sure know why you wouldn't want the authorities involved in this case. Al Capone, head of the family, the big boss himself, shot in his own club, in his own private office, with all his staff within a few meters. I guess we better get down to business. I've got some investigating of my own to do. Got to review the scene and crime and all that, and then I'll be back to update you on what I know about the hit. Meanwhile, I suggest you start asking each other questions, but before that, I suppose you better introduce yourselves to each other, just for the record.
Good thing, Sly. If Al was the big cheese around here, then think of me as the soft cheese maturing right behind him, ready to take his place. My name's Rick Atta. I was Al's right-hand man, and I tell you, I can't believe he's dead. He taught me everything I know. I hardly ever left his side, you know?
Well, that depends on how close you are to your bodyguards, I suppose. I've
This
always
is cool.
fancied having one myself, but depending on who it is, who it was, well, let's just say privacy might not be too much of an issue. My name's Francesca Pancetta. I'm one of Al's nieces. You could say he was like a father to me.
Yeah, Al was always a big family man, but he was a good boss too. The name's No Brakes McGaw. I'm Al's driver, his main driver. I'm glad he didn't get shot in my car. I only just finished cleaning off the blood from the last backseat.
Whoever killed Al obviously knew he was most vulnerable. I mean, with all the gangs around him, he would have been invulnerable. My name's Margarita Pizza, and I'm one of Al's mini-nieces. Like Franny said, he was really a protective uncle, but he doted on us too. We all loved him to bits.
I'm sure you did, Margarita. I'm sure you all did. But love and hate can live side by side, and it's plain to see someone wanted him out of the way. Big Al was worth a lot. I should know. I did his accounts. My name's Robin, folks. I have a little creative flair, although you could say I was more of a magician than an artist. I can make vast sums of money vanish
This is
in a
so cool.
flash.
I love this. I love this so
Al
much.
dead? I can hardly believe it. Though deep down inside, I suppose I always knew it would come to this. If Al was the big cheese of the family, then I suppose as his mother, you could call me the soft cheese.
Wait,
I always had a soft
didn't we
spot
already
for my...
didn't we already hear this?
No.
There's two soft cheeses.
First soft cheeses.
This one's more of a. This one's more of a.
This is a motherly soft cheese.
My motherly cheese.
I always had a soft spot for my favorite and only son. The gangster life can be tough on the mothers, you know. Mas Capone, that's me.
Thanks, Ma. I'll remember that. You can all call me Tony, because that's my name. Tony Calazone. I was Al Capone's Mr. Fix-It.
So
I've got a
fucking
real
funny. I
flair
love
when
this
it
so
comes
much.
to concrete footwork.
I know one of you must have killed Al. The question is which one of you did it and who did the dirty? Sly, you look like you're busting to say something.
I just can't believe it. Al dead, murdered in his own club, surrounded by his own people.
Could none of you have protected him? I thought that's what you guys were all here for.
Al knew the risks, Ma, but he still liked his prize.
It just goes to show that it's an inside
Oh, man.
job. Somebody knew he was the most vulnerable.
Even I would never
Hey.
stoop as low to shoot a man in the,
McGraw meant Al was shot in his office, Tony, not in the vulnerable
You should have joined.
area.
That's okay, Cypher.
Well, that's all right then. For a minute, I thought he was shot in the, well, in the, vagina.
It's alright, Tony. It's alright, Tony. I think we girls all get the picture.
Not that gunshots need to be in the vulnerable places.
You're right, Rick. I've had fairly good results from shooting people from just about anywhere.
So,
I don't remember what kind of accent I did.
Same.
Southern.
It certainly
word
sounds. It certainly sounds as though there was enough blood in this case. Didn't anybody see the body before we got pulled aside?
I did, and I wish to goodness I hadn't. It was gruesome, ghastly, gory, and
This is the
any other
best.
word beginning with G that you can think of. Blood and brains everywhere.
Yeah, margarita pizza. Looks like you got something to say. Do you?
I was just thinking that it might be gorgeous too, but that doesn't seem to fit. I take it that it was a head wound then.
She didn't say that, but then, as has been pointed out already, Al wasn't shot there.
So where there's a blood then?
Without a boss, Francesca, and with a lot of cleaning up to do.
I take it there will be retribution for a hit like this?
You better believe it, Sly. We ain't gonna let this slide.
Not to say we were safe before, girls. It's going to get even worse now.
Just want to bring up like everyone else did. Did he get shot in the penis? Is that what we're talking about? Then we best get to finding out who did it before things go too far.
He got shot in a private area,
We
and
should-
it's also the head, so it could be the penis tip.
There's
I'm
lots
pretty
of
sure
private
someone
areas.
pointed out
Just the
that
tip
it was
is
a
off.
vagina by the end.
Okay, see, I want to start off by saying he did have a penis, but after the butthole, he has a vagina. You know what I'm saying? Perhaps we can get a question from you, Mr. Shyster.
Hey Tony, you going into Al's private office a lot. Were you close?
Al showed me how to fire and maintain just about any gun on the market, black or otherwise. I always carry around a piece,
It's good.
you know?
Cool.
Mas Capone, did Al take over the business from his father?
It was almost like Al was ready to take over. I've always been really proud of the way Al knuckled down in the work in spite of the bereavement.
Ricotta, do you have a question?
Mr. Sly Shyster, has Al Capone sponsored all your political activities?
Ever since he was head of the family, yes. Before that, his father sponsored me. It was always handy to have a politician on your side in their line of business.
Hey, Tony, are you as good with guns as you are with concrete?
I'd like to think I'm fairly good shot. From close range at least. And then again, by the time they get to me, close range is all I need.
Oh, Tony, I want to get close to you.
Oh my god, I just spit everywhere.
Oh, fuck. This is
Uh,
the best idea I've ever had. I have not stopped laughing since this started. This is amazing. Hey, Francesca Pancetta, what are you doing over in the corner over there? You got any questions for anybody?
Wait, where were you at the time of the murder? As his bodyguard, shouldn't you have been close by?
Hey, I had to do what Al wanted, you know? He was the boss. Al never liked bodyguards inside his private office. So when he gave me the okay to wander off for a while, I went over to listen to Francesca rehearse.
Okay. Francesca, you might have a second question. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I'm just trying to do like the worst, stupidest 50s accent I can do, by the way.
Sly, do you know who saw Al before you today?
Yes, he was talking with Margarita Pizza before I saw him. They seemed to be having quite the heart-to-heart.
What
Al had her in a
shitster?
big bear hug when I knocked to come in. Al was a big family man.
Hey, no breaks, McGraw. You're a cool kind of cat. You know what I'm saying? You got any questions?
I definitely am not cool, just for the record. But on that topic, Francesca, just how protective was your Uncle Al?
Very protective. He vetted every one of my potential boyfriends exceedingly carefully and usually declared them unsuitable. Then I'd never see the guy again.
Oh, I almost said Mr. McGraw's voice. Hey, Mr. McGraw, you got another question? Or did you already ask it? Hello? Hello?
What happened?
we
Hello?
lost him.
Oh shit, that's me. Oh god. Sorry. I was just zoning out here. Sometimes I do that.
Yeah, it makes sense. We got a moita on our hands. Hey, you got a moita.
Yeah, but I was like having an introspective moment, thinking about like where I'm gonna be employed next. But Rick, Do you know what Al got up to inside of his private office? You know, like when no one else was around?
You use it as a place to unwind and entertain his lady friends. Sometimes a man's gotta do what a man's gotta do, and no one likes company for that, you know?
Wow, that's really gross, Rick. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Margarita pizza, my favorite pizza. You got any questions?
I'm just so faint from all of this. I don't know. No breaks, McGraw. Whose blood were you clean out of your car the other day?
Hey, Mr. Zone Out.
Oh shit, it's me again. I say those words you said again.
Whose blood were you clean out the car the other day?
Oh, that's a very good question. It was just someone
How are you?
Al had
How
a
are you,
bit of
Panda?
a disagreement with. Also, I didn't hear everything they talked about in the back seat, but Al usually reinforced his words with violence. He wasn't a man to pull his punches. When he got going, there was nothing gonna stop him.
Miss Pizza, I think you got another question, don't you?
Franny, where were you this afternoon? I think you might have been sleeping with another man, but I seem to remember Al saying he had an appointment with you.
I was busy practicing my arias for the upcoming performance.
Like,
at the
bravo to
concert
everybody
hall
doing
across
this.
the
This is
road
so
from Al's
funny.
pub. I
For
got
like a
so
last
carried
minute thing?
away with my
Amazing.
rehearsals, I clean forgot that I was supposed to be meeting Uncle Al for afternoon tea. I saw Rick in the wings, and that's when I realized I was late. I had to get over there double quick.
He was always there for me when I was growing up. After my father was killed in a hit, Uncle Al sort of took over the fathering bit and made it his job to make sure my brother Luca and I lacked for nothing.
No breaks, McGraw. Out in space. Is it true that you're Al's main driver?
Main driver. I'm the only driver he trusted. I dropped off Al at the club this morning. I was waiting to drive him somewhere else when the guys came out and said he'd been shot. I don't drive corpses, so I guess they're gonna have to ring for a hearse now.
Mascarpone, surely you got some questions.
Of course I do. Margarita, did you come to the club this afternoon to see your uncle?
I came to this club this afternoon to have a long chat with Uncle Al about my twin brother Luca. They haven't been getting along too well of late, and I wanted to let Al know Luca was ready to make amends.
Robin, I've seen you gambling many times here at the club. Are you any good at it?
I'm good at accounts. Not so much at gambling. Turns out I can lose vast sums of money doing both.
What just happened?
That's all good, dear. I think you should do something with your hair, though. I can give you some tips. Come see me.
I'll take off some of your tips. If you know what I'm saying.
Oh, man.
Just like you did to Al!
Dun dun dun.
Okay, Tony Folded Pizza, Tony Calzone. You got any questions?
You sound a little nervous.
What did you do to my boy?
Okay. Mascarpone, you carry a gun?
Sure, I
Ma?
carry a gun. I carry it in my purse all the time. It's dangerous out in the world for a widow, you know.
Mr. Calzone.
Robin, folks, Mr. Folks. What were you doing in the club this afternoon?
So formal.
I had a meeting with Al. Booked to go over his accounts.
Oh, I'm just feeling so faint. Tony, show me to my room. We'll make little pizza bites together.
I'm down, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, surely there's time for getting fresh with the ladies a little later, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my god.
Right, well, I think that's enough for now. I've had a look at Al's office. Well, it's plain, you see. He was shot at fairly close range. There was no attempt to make it look like a suicide and no attempt to move the body. Whoever killed him either was disturbed, scared, or very sure of themselves. As far as the clues go, there are actually few. Al hadn't drawn his own sidearm. So I can assume whoever killed him was known to him. Either that or the killer got him completely by surprise. The petty cash tin he keeps on his desk drawer was cleaned out of money, so either someone had their hand in the till or perhaps it was Al himself. He was always the last of the big spenders where his family was concerned. He'd probably given it all away himself. What's that, Rick?
The petty cash tin is empty. I'm fairly sure it was full this morning. I saw Al put something in it myself.
You're looking like you really want to talk. Like you're just dying to talk. Just say what you gotta say.
Tony might just have to go to the bathroom. Like that's
Tony,
a little dance.
Tony, you gotta take
me
a
and
duke.
Tony were in the room together, making pizza bots.
Sorry. He did have a few visitors between now and then and now. Well, the time of his death anyways.
Yeah, Tony, the murder for one.
Oh, very astute.
I love
Ricky.
this.
Don't mention it, Franny. Some of
Ooh.
us are better endowed in certain areas than others. Personally, I would rather have brains and vocal cords.
Hey,
Now
somebody
then,
shut
you
that
two.
dog up.
Now then, you two, no fighting. This is an investigation into a murder. Let's have a little decorum, please.
Seems like No Breaks McGraw's drifted off into space again.
They do call me Spaceman No Breaks McGraw for nothing. Shit, hold on. Let me just scroll down in my brain.
Not a problem. Take your time.
Almost there. Almost. Okay, now I remember what I was gonna ask. Slide, did you know how Al Senior died? That's
I think
probably very related.
I think you're on the wrong part of your brain, my friend.
Shit. What part are we fucking in?
Page 8. Page 8.
Scripted dialogue round 2.
Oh shit, we're reading scripts now. Oh fuck. Yeah, that's me. So what did happen to the money?
Well, he
Yeah,
didn't
that
give
is-
any to me. that's
Oh,
for
it was?
certain.
Sorry.
And he never gave any to me when I called.
Oh, fuck.
He wanted to give me something by way of an extra gift. He would have surely went out and bought something nice.
Actually, it was always me that Al sent out to do his shopping. I'm glad you like the stuff.
I bet having that gun in your pocket would have certainly made them wonder.
Oh my god.
What?
Hey, Spaceman No Breaks McGraw.
Fuck. Sorry. I
Something
was
about
just
your
taking
pockets.
notes in my brain. I was taking notes in my brain. Pockets are never safe for a place for firearms, Tony. You know that. You always put it in the holster.
You shoot your dick off.
I've told you
Yeah.
before, you need to holster it properly, or at least keep it away from any sensitive areas.
Does anyone know how much cash was in that tin?
You gotta be careful who you're talking about. Accounts there, Rick. The tax office has spies. One wrong word and they'll be on you like a ton of bricks.
Say, perhaps I can speak to you about my return later, Robin. Sure would come in handy knowing how to fill my own tax return this year. For now, though, Al's body is my main focus, as it should be yours. So why don't we get a question from you first this time, Margarita Pizza?
Rick, who's next in line to succeed Al as the boss of the family? Al didn't have any children, did he?
No, he didn't. Al trusted me and I had his full confidence. He was just starting to show me the ropes, introduce me to his most trusted contacts, like Francesca. He knew he wasn't getting any younger and one day I would have to take on the mantle. He wanted to be sure I was ready, but it was still early days.
Blah, do you know how Al took news of his father's death? Do you happen to know if he ever threatened revenge?
Al threatened revenge as soon as he realized what had happened to his father, as any good son would. Unfortunately, the killer was never found. Of course, that didn't stop Al from putting a few other families out of business, just in case.
I don't know if I believe that. Sly Shyster, do you have any questions?
Robin, did you have your meeting with Al?
As it happens, I never got to speak to Al about the accounts. I hung around at the
Ooh.
bar for a while and went off to shoot a few craps. Gambling is one of my few vices, and luckily Al's club caters to that too.
Margarita, do you carry a gun?
Really?
Grimley, fuck!
My dad taught me how to fire a gun before he was killed, just as any good father would. Not that great a shot, but I always figured if I was out dating and got in trouble, the chances were I'd be close enough to hit the fella.
All right. This is making sense to me. Ricotta, what do you got to say about this?
Oh,
Ricotta, like cheese.
Al Capone.
A nice soft
Like soft cheese.
Nice.
Soft
A
cheese.
nice
We're
soft
all
cheese.
Soft cheese.
Mascarpone, my apologies for asking this question, but how did Al's father die?
Oh, he died in very similar circumstances. Real strange that. My husband was shot in his private office with no witnesses. My son was the last person to see him alive.
I happened to see you stuff some notes into your jacket just before the investigation began. Did you finally get your big win on the gambling tables, or did that money come from somewhere else?
Ooh, the plot thickens.
You saw me stuff those notes in there, did you? Oh my god, dog! So much for this being my lucky day. I figured under the circumstances that Al wouldn't miss a little money. So I raided that petty cash in his office before Elliot got there.
And the plot thickens, you see? Miss Pancetta, you got any questions?
Ma, do you love your son?
What sort of question is that? Of course I do. I could never hurt him. Not that I'd ever dare to. It's been a long time since I dared take a rolling pin to the back of his legs.
Where were you this afternoon when Al was shot?
I think your voice cut out, but I think you're asking Tony.
Tony!
I was at the club. There was a bit of a... There's a bit of a gym in one of our rear rooms, so I was pumping iron. The weight machine was in a good position watching the main door, you know? I'd have seen if anyone suspicious arrived, but I'm guessing the sound of the weights crashing down on each other probably drowned out the gunshot. I didn't hear a thing.
I don't know if it
with my
changed.
dick.
Tony promises. There are people here.
Hey, Robin,
Wow.
it looks like you're up next.
Francesca, since your uncle was so protective of you, did you ever try being in a relationship without him knowing? Wouldn't that have been the easiest thing to do?
Listen, if you think I could just go off and date someone with Uncle Al finding out, you're just plain stupid. I mean, sorry and all that, but you are. He had eyes everywhere. Nothing got past him. I'd never dare go behind his back.
It's suspicious.
Rick, do you know what happened to any wannabe suitors for Al's nieces?
Yeah, sure. I happened to them. I was Al's go-to guy. I've dealt with all the removal operations Al requested. No one was ever intentionally killed.
Removal
You understand
operations.
that? They was just roughed up a little bit. Okay. In some instances, roughed up a little too much. How was I supposed to know the guy had a weak heart?
Mascarpone. You got anything to say about this?
No Breaks McGraw, where's your car parked? Could you see into the club?
Yeah, just let me think about that for a moment. No, I couldn't see into the club. Despite what you might think of my abilities, I can't see through walls. I was parked around the back, like I always am, close to the fire escape. You know why. That's why the door Al used to enter
Make
the
some
back of the
spaghetti,
club.
if you know what I
He didn't
mean.
like going through the laundry at the front if he can avoid it.
Fra-
Well, everyone
okay.
knows if you climb the fire escape, you're closer to outer space than you would be if you're at the bottom in the car. That's why I always park by the fire escape.
Makes sense. Makes sense to me. And hey, Francesca, do you carry a gun?
Everybody carries a gun these days, and I'm no different. I'd even be practicing at the shooting range. I'm pretty good for a broad. Even Rick says so.
Hey, Mr. Calzone, you're last, but certainly least. Go for it.
Margarita, did your Uncle Al allow you to date any boyfriend? Was he protective of you as he was of Francesca?
You're asking for yourself, Tony. Oh, I do declare. Oh, he was always very protective because he never liked the thought of me getting hurt. Luca vetted all my previous boyfriends first, but if he didn't meet Uncle Al's expectations, that was the last I saw of them.
And,
So that's not the last person because I still have 2 questions to ask.
And I
Okay,
think
but-
Tony has another question too.
I do thank you very much, Mr. No Breaks, and it's for you, a matter of fact. Do you know who it was that Al fought with back in the Sidiaka?
Oh yeah, I know that. I sure do. It was Luca Pizza, Margarita's big brother. Dun dun dun! He'd been cheating in the club. Al doesn't like cheaters at his gambling tables. Luca should have known better. Al has been parental guardian for the Pizza Twins since their Papa John died.
Hey, no breaks,
sorry,
McGraw.
This is not funny. It's not funny. Hold on, I'm not done yet. I'm not fucking
Oh,
done.
my bad.
Al believed in the old saying, spare the rod, spoil the child. I don't think
glorious.
Margarita was
funny.
too pleased about it, though. Al asked me to pick her up and take her to the hospital after I dropped him back at the club.
What? I don't want to know what rod he was using.
All right, no breaks, McGraw. You said you had more questions, but I'm pretty sure you already asked your questions, but go for it.
I have a lot of questions, actually. Tony, were you jealous of Rick Otta's special relationship with Al?
With Al? No. The only way I stood a chance with Francesca was to get Rick out of the run-in or to get Al's approval, but he was a hard man.
It sounds like a motive to me.
Aha! So now we're getting somewhere. At least I think we are. You might not see it, but then you guys aren't the specialists. At least not that sort of thing. Don't matter. I'm just surprised you never saw anything, McGraw.
I hope you aren't insinuating this murder had something to do with me. Because clearly I have not established a motive yet. I just drive the...
There's no such thing as just in this world, McGraw, as well you know.
Surely, whoever killed Al must have some experience if they thought they'd get away with
Gonna
it.
look a bit, no worries,
full
Lynn.
view of the rest of us.
You have to at least own a gun to shoot someone.
Not if you had access to the one Al carried.
Although wouldn't have given that up to a stranger.
You wouldn't have given it up to a friend either, Rick. You don't just go around handing people loaded guns. It's not safe.
Well, Al wasn't an idiot. He wouldn't hand someone a loaded weapon.
I never thought he would have been surprised by a murder either. It's just
He must have trusted whoever killed him to let them get that close.
But he trusted all of us, didn't he? Most of us have access to his office.
Ooh, this is hard.
And most of us can shoot too. Oh, you gonna finish that soft cheese over there?
It's all you.
And you don't have to be too good with a gun to hit something at close range.
I suppose that business could be anywhere.
Oh my fucking god.
Are you eating soft cheese?
I'm sorry, my mouth is full of soft cheese.
Exactly, but I know it wasn't me, so that reduces the suspect list by 1.
Very helpful, Fly. And I suppose you just expect us to take
You
your
eating
word
soft
for it?
cheese?
Al always told me to trust
Fuck,
no
zombie
one.
is so fucking funny.
good advice in this part of town.
Oh, it looks like you guys are done talking and I didn't realize. Let's take a question from you first, shall we? Francesca?
Robin, how would you describe your relationship with Al?
For real, Pixar hire them, I know.
It was good. I mean, I always knew where I stood. He was a fairly easy man to read. He let me know when he was angry, but if he was happy, the cigars were shared around and a good time was had by all. And the soft cheeses.
So what you're telling me is that the real crime here is tax fraud. Dun dun dun.
Margarita, did you see anything suspicious as you left your Uncle Al earlier this afternoon?
Robin folks was hanging around the bar when I left. He kept looking at Al's private office, so I figured that he was going in there next. Sly was there too, but he was often there on business.
Hey, let's go to you, Sly Shister. What do you gotta say? Shyster is probably how it's pronounced.
You shister.
Worcestershire?
Sly shitster, how are you?
Worcestershire sauce. You're up next.
No breaks, McGraw. Did you see Margarita Pizza come into the club this afternoon?
That's me. Hold on, let me look in my...
Let him look in his brain, you know?
I'm looking in my brain. Hold on. It's all full of cheese.
Your brain's like Swiss cheese. It's all full of holes and also like cheese.
Why the fuck the I don't have. Oh, here my question. Oh, there's my brain. Oh, there it is.
There's my brain.
You asked me if what was my question again?
I asked, did you see Margarita Pizza come into the club this afternoon?
I think No Breaks had a little too many vodkas.
It's too much for men and cheese, actually. No, she must have come in from the front. Most visitors do. The back entrance is only used by the gang members. Though maybe I shouldn't say that way. That seems kind of incriminatory.
Alright, and Francesca Pancetta, would Al have approved of Rick Otta as a potential suitor?
No, he didn't want me dating anyone in the gangs. He told me as much as when we chatted this afternoon. He said I would date a guy in the gangs only over his dead body. And now look what's happened.
You killed him, didn't you, Franny?
I would never.
You know what? When I woke up today, I thought it was going to be a good day.
Fuck off.
I'm
All right.
actually dead.
Ricotta, you're up next.
Margarita. His pizza, if you will. Is Luca still recovering in the hospital?
Yes, he is.
It's always
but
the
don't
narrative
think I
it could
had
be.
nothing to do with Uncle Al's death. Luca got what was coming to him. I was the one who told Al about the cheating. Luca deserved what he got, and Al had been there for us all this time, and I wasn't going to let Luca ruin everything for us, or me.
No breaks, McGraw. Get your brain warmed up. I think I saw you in the club this afternoon. I thought you said you were going to be waiting out the back.
Well, I was only grabbing a coffee and some soft cheese. Jeez. Well, do you expect me to sit in the car all the time? There's not even an air conditioner in there. And Al had a big important place to be later. He wanted me on standby to drive the car. But
I have a question. You drink coffee and eat soft cheese all at the same time?
in the same bite, I put the cheese in my mouth and then I drink the coffee. The coffee melts the soft cheeses
No.
in my
This man,
mouth. And
this
then
man
I
is
let it
guilty.
dribble down the back of my throat.
Come on, do you think we can carry on?
Oh my god. She's dead.
She died of cheese puns because their mutts are hella good.
Oh.
I'm just.
no Gouda.
I just can't with the cheeses. I'm lactose intolerant. What can I say?
You
Robin.
lactose and you're tolerant?
Thank God it wasn't me this time.
Dead. Robin's dead.
Oh, that's right. I still have questions to ask. Mascarpone, did you have a fight with Al today?
Sure did. Finally, after all these years, I realized that Al must have killed his own father. I suppose my motherly love had put blinkers on my eyes. I confronted him about it this afternoon, and he laughed in my face. Apparently, he was really surprised that it had taken me this long to realize what had gone on all those years ago.
Well, that's dark. I gotta switch gears here and ask one more question. Rapid fire. This is an important one. Robin, when exactly did you
link to
take
this
the
playlist?
money out of Al's petty cashed in? Before or after he was found dead?
After, obviously. I popped my head around the corner to see, around the office door to see if he was busy, and that's when I saw he was dead. Thing is, if you come out of the boss's office saying he's been shot, you're likely to be looking at the wrong end of the gun pretty quickly in a place like this.
Robin, just a follow up to that one. Where is that money right now? I'm asking for a friend.
Yeah, I hid it in the soft cheeses.
Mr. McGraw, we're going to need to pump your stomach right here, right now.
You'll get it in 12 to 16 hours. That's all I got.
All right. Well, maybe we can speed that up with some margarita pizza to give you the old diarrhea. Speaking of margarita pizza, you're up next.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just so distracted. There was a cheese shop in France that blew up. All was left was the debris.
Oh, fuck. That got me.
Tony, do you know if Al ever found out that Rick was interested in his niece? Tony, do you know if Al ever found out that Rick was interested in his niece?
Oh, I don't know.
That was a Gouda one? I agree. It was
Rick
so Gouda.
knew that Al was a hard man to please, so he may have been biding his time. But I mean, it's a two-stage process, ain't it? First, you gotta meet Francesca's standards, and then Al's. But if Al found out, well...
No, I never liked that Franny girl. Mascarpone, did I hear a bang when you visit Al today?
Probably did, but it wasn't a gunshot. I threw his paperweight at him, but don't feel sorry for him. He dodged it and hit the wall. That's probably the sound you heard. I just got very cross and lost my temper completely. But rather a paperweight than a bullet, eh?
So sounds so similar.
This. I appreciate a good cheese pun, and halloumi and you make a good combo. But Robin, you're up next.
I heard you were in the club this afternoon.
Yes.
And
This
that
is so
you and
funny.
Al had
I
an
love this so
argument.
much.
What was it about?
All right, already. No need to get aggressive on me. Sure, I was in the club this afternoon. There's nothing wrong with that. I come in from time to time, press the flesh. It's what I do. I'd come to speak to Al because, you know what? I finally realized after all these years that I had something on him. He was the only one at the club the day his father died, which means that it had to have been Al that shot him. He denied it, of course, and loudly, but he's got to save face with the family, hasn't he?
Do any of your guns have a silencer with them?
Yeah, I've got a silencer on for one of my guns, just in case I decide to, off ricotta, I mean, a guy has to be but I knew
Off
deep down
ricotta?
I would never have to use it on him, because Rick's a good friend of mine, and although we're after the same girl, I figured it's more of a case of the best man winning than taking drastic action.
Hey, let's not go to blows, We can go
Easy.
toe to toe later if you want to throw some fisticuffs. All right, Tony Baloney, you got any questions?
Yeah, I got a question. Francesca Pancetta, did you see anyone when you were at the club?
Hi, Tony. I sure did. I passed Margarita on my way in. She must have been talking to Al. I didn't notice anyone at the bar, though. I was so flustered because I was late, and I just rushed right in.
Okay, and Rick, have you ever been inside Al Scapone's private office?
Al's private office? Well, of course I have. I'm his most trusted lieutenant. There ain't nothing goes on in this place I don't know about. He wants something, he calls me in. If I'm not out on business, I'm usually just waiting outside, ready to be called on.
If he trusted you so much, why wouldn't he approve of you dating Marg?
Well, for one, I was never interested in Marg.
Whoa!
Because Franny I always wanted.
All right, and last but not least this time, Mascarpone. I think we should hear from you now.
Give me just a second. I gotta get some of this soft cheese down.
Fuck.
Sly, Mr. Shyster, do you carry a gun?
Soft cheese is
If
good.
you do, have you ever threatened anybody with it?
Sure, I carry a gun. I'm not important enough yet to have my own bodyguard team, and Chicago just ain't safe. Not even for the likes of me. Have I threatened anyone with it? No. And I certainly know better than to pull a gun on a gangster in his own club.
Hey, Rick, did Miss Franny know about all her wannabe suitors?
Nothing gets past me. Someone suitable's Francesca never even met.
I think it's
They
Rick.
got removed before they even made a move. And some of those I thought, and the some that I thought Al would approve of, well, I've just been seeing them off without Al's knowledge.
So then, guys and gals, I think that's it. At least that's all I need to hear. I have a fair idea of who shot Al, but give everyone a little go at these sort of things. Let them see if they can work it out first. That way, if none of yous get it right, you won't have any beef about paying me later. Let's start with Sly. We need your final statement.
Okay, so I found out Al killed his own father, but what was that to me?
You think
It
Robin
may
is
have cost me a big donation, but Al stepped up in his father's place, and now I had something on him. I knew I was safe.
Ricotta, what do you got to say?
He was a good boss. He was just beginning to educate me to take over from him in the business. I was his natural successor, and he wasn't getting any younger, but believe me, I was content to wait.
What do you think about this, Franny, as you like to be called?
Don't worry, Rick. You'll be a natural. Even your name has the right ring for being the big cheese of the family. Still, I would rather make my own decisions when it comes to men, if you don't mind. I may not have shot Al, but if you carry on with that protection racket in his stead, well, I might have something to say about that. And I'm a good shot.
I'm sure you are, Franny. You were good at everything you do. Just needed to build you up a little bit there. And like I said, I was waiting in the car in the alley around back, so it couldn't have been me.
In the alley round back, right near the office. That's not much of an excuse, McGraw. You could have been the assailant if you'd been paying attention, which we all know you struggle with.
Looks like Robin really wants to talk.
So
McGraw's
I'm
killing it.
stiff
He's so
to stiff
funny.
for a loan. But I've paid it back eventually.
He's fucking
honest.
killing me.
And like I said,
He was like the
Al
first
was
person I
already dead
asked
when
to
I
play.
found him. So there's no use looking at me like that. Whatever. I'm fully aware no one trusts accountants.
My own son killed my husband, but I
The
didn't
voices
kill
are awesome.
him.
I know. I'm so
I mean,
glad
what good
everyone's
would
like
it
getting
do
into
me?
it.
As Al himself said, I'd lose the only other man I really loved, so what benefit was there to me? Al may have been a murderer, but he was a really loving son. I'd never have killed him.
I suppose I better say my piece and be done with it. It wasn't me. I didn't even hear the shot.
Okay, then let's make a bit of a guessing game, shall we? Let's see if any of you can work out who did it. I think I'll ask you all in turn and find out what you all think. Remember, what I want to know from each of you is who you think the Moida is and why.
Yeah, I'm open to opinions, but I feel like Rick's probably got the most to gain from murdering.
All right, Rick, what do you got to say about that? You're being accused.
Rob, at the very least, Al's death had no impact on Robin, and she benefited from it. So until she tells me otherwise, I'm blaming her.
First of all, I got a dick.
Okay.
He's a hot cheese of soft.
And it's hard cheese, not soft cheese.
Oh my. If your cheese is hard for more than 4 hours, you should maybe consider talking to a doctor. I have an accusation to make. I think without a shred of doubt that it was Robin.
Fuck you, bud.
Robin with the hard cheese and the gambling problem.
You're just mad because your cheese is soft.
Robin.
Yeah, I got some special cheese pills for that. Some little fucking cheese curds. Little blue cheese curds. Robin.
No cheese, a ton.
You killed him, Robin. You killed him.
I
You
saw him
took
dead
money.
and I killed him. Come on.
You saw him dead, and then you killed him some more. And then you took his cheese. You took his money. You took you shot him in the dick. You took everything that that man had.
Vagina.
Now I gotta get a new job. You think it's easy getting a job as a driver? The bus is like
Yeah,
$250.
be a fucking taxi driver.
He's got the most to gain out of all of this.
Rick is next in charge.
Exactly.
He just wanted to speed it up a bit.
Why did you kill my boy, Rick?
Yeah, Rick.
I was in no rush to speed it up. Al was teaching me so much. There's so much I wish I still could learn from him.
He's dead. I kind of think Ma might have done the Moida.
Oh, Ma, what do you have to say to that? Who do you think did it?
Well, Robin, I think you're wrong, because all I did was throw a paperweight at his face. I missed, though. I ain't one of them baseball players that he loves so much. But
yeah, it's
Rick,
a paperweight. It's not soft cheese.
No, definitely not soft cheese. But I can't throw that neither.
So Ma, who do you think did it?
I think it was Rick. I think you had more to gain than anybody else. So I'm sorry, my friend, but I think it was you.
All right. Well, we're gonna go back to Rick. So Sly. Well, we already talked to you. We'll skip to you too. We'll go back to you, Tony. Tony, who do you think did it?
To be honest, I think it was Rick.
Well, in the driving business of the cars, we have a saying, He who smelt it, dealt it. I think it was Robin. Robin killed him.
Robin with the stealing and the seeing him last one's dead and not saying anything.
I think it was Franny.
I think Franny got Rick to do it for her.
All right, Rick, you got the most votes so far. Who do you think did it?
While all you were blabbering on about cheeses, I was actually trying to solve this here. I wish I could find where it said he was. Tony, if I remember correctly. I think it was Tony that also wanted to be with Franny.
Who doesn't love Francesca? Let's be real.
I don't.
I know I do.
I don't know, Rick. I think you know how to handle your firearms better than anybody else here.
I mean, I've heard of
Tony
pocket
was always
pool, but I haven't heard of
couldn't trust him.
pocket skeet shooting. You know what I'm saying? Usually when you skeet, you do something else.
Now you dick shoot.
I mean, Tony don't even know how to holster his gun right.
Is that an
That is
innuendo?
true. If I'm gonna
you
shoot
can't
anyone, it's gonna be myself.
That means would Tony be able to shoot his head, like Al's big head?
I don't know. It depends on
Hey,
how
hey.
close he is, but maybe. Maybe not.
Hey, you know who can holster their gun is Mr. McGraw, if you know what I'm saying.
Robin, I just want you to know that you will soon smell the stench of
Need a
justice.
new poll?
It wasn't me.
Ready?
Go for it.
But she cut you on the counter. So just to make sure everybody knows, Tony's got 1 vote, Ma's got 1 vote, Rick's got 3 votes, Robin's got 2, and Franny's got 1. Because the murderer was none other than Rick Otta. Yes, Francesca went to Al's office and discussed her interest in a certain young man, Rick to be exact, and he overheard Al's response. Rick and Francesca have been involved for some time now. As Al's natural successor, Rick rather assumed Al would have approval, but when he didn't, it left Rick with only one option. Al said it, over his dead body. And Rick decided that was the way it just had to be. Ricotta, I name you as the murderer of Al Capone. I guess, however, given your position in the family, you're the new boss now. So who do you want to frame for this one, big guy?
How dare you?